Hey, it's just so Trish, and it's week 7 of homeschooling. Yeah, for the year. We're still working on, they're looking at me, they're like right over there. Progressing through our books and staying focused, like focus. Somebody has earmuffs on because he found that that's going to help him out. We're getting there. I know, I'm losing my pizzazz, but I mean, we're getting it done. I got some stickers on there, but we're working through it. Last week we did not get what we needed to get done. They kind of like failed me. Can you see? I'm going to start highlighting them because these little check marks that they make don't always seem so evident. And then I'm going back through with the highlighter. I'm like, oh, now I see you're skipping and missing. So since apparently Thursday was optional, we are having a 5-day work week this week. Woohoo! And then we have a lot of 4-H, so it's a bit much. I will say one of the cool things that we did, Katie was getting ready to start 307, and when she looked through it, she kind of says, Mom, I can pass this. Because now Katie's had a lot of different math, as in she has had, I know, let her say hi. Say hi. Anyways, so Katie has had different maths, like she was in Saxon for a while, and then I brought her back into Christian Light Education, and mostly because she hadn't got her math facts down. And I felt like it was better to go slow and, you know, slower. And the only Saxon we use actually starts at 5.4, is the 5.4 Saxon and up, and we use all the 1st and 3rd editions. I need to do a video about that, but it's not today. So anyways, so she said I could do it. So I gave her the alternative test, the 307, see, 307. And she passed it within an 80%. And at that point, I mean, she's in 5th grade. We're in 307. I just went through and seen where she was messing up. And it was little things. So I just told her what pages to review in the book. And did a little 10-15 minute explanation. And she was good to go. So today she just reviewed. And then that means we can move on to 308. So that's kind of one thing we did this week. That is a nice advantage to the alternative tests that are in Christian Light. Works out really well. We're doing a lot of 4-H. This week we have 2 clubs we're in. They're in their citrus club, so they're learning about orange trees. They're also in a sign language club that starts up tomorrow. And I think they're going to be like stellar nerds. Definitely getting it done. And then the cool part is this week we also they're going to actually tomorrow talk in front of the Board of County Commissioners about what they like about 4-H. So 2 of my guys are doing that. So that's kind of a cool thing to do. We got thank you notes to write. I'm going to have a video later setting that little project up for them to make thank you cards. And that's hopefully going to be done today so we can turn them in at our club meeting today. What else? When we got to keep up with our record books, that ends up kind of being hard sometimes because I'm not doing the record book for them. It's their job to do the record book, but I kind of need to hold them to an expectation, and there's a lot of expectations to keep up with them, and I definitely am running into that. But you know, it's like and I think like if I only had 2, it'd be easier to stay on top of, or if I had 1, because like we have this like super awesome kid in our county that he's an only child and he's above par. He's kind of a baby genius. I'm not gonna lie, he's 7 years old and he can play stuff on the piano that's like crazy. Anyway, he is super awesome, but there's only 1 of him, and I think his parents can hold him to the personal expectations he sets for himself, and they can inspect it, where I got 6 of them and I can't. But my kids are doing good still. I mean, they're doing great. Anyways, our Bible verse for the week is, the man of integrity walks securely, but he who takes crooked paths will be found out. And that's Proverbs 10:9. And then, he who heeds discipline shows the way to life, but whoever ignores correction leads others astray. Proverbs 10:17. So kind of 2 Proverbs verses in there. So if you want to see them, you can hit pause and read them again. I really like these because we're kind of having issues with not being deliberately lying, but being kind of neglectfully dishonest. we're dishonest because we're being neglectful, not because we're being forthright. So I think it was definitely some good verses to kind of keep in mind. You know, it's like, I'm not intentionally not doing my social studies, but it like just didn't happen. But yeah, I really looked busy there. So we're working on that. I did go to Dollar Tree, and I got a cool little like thing, so I'll do my Dollar Tree haul this week. I haven't done a Dollar Tree haul in a while, and it was a little Dollar Tree haul. I didn't spend a bunch of money. I was like under 20 bucks. Anyway, I'll share that with you this week, and we're going to be doing some gardening, and you're going to be stuck following our gardening, and I'm going to figure out a way to turn it into school, because that's what we do as homeschool moms. We turn it into school. So that is our week. We're just kind of busting through. I got to turn in my attendance. It's the end of the month. I haven't done it yet, and I got to get it in, because before I get told I'm a bad homeschool mom teacher by the administrator, but she wouldn't do that. She'd be like, you need to turn your attendance in. So we got to turn our attendance in. We've got a great attendance so far. And it's kind of nice knowing that, I mean, I do have some friends that, like, they're just starting their year off in October. I'm like, oh, we are 7 weeks done in 2 more weeks. We are, you know, we're like a quarter of the way done with our school for the year. Kind of nice part about starting in August, you know, and being full through in August. So that works out really good. And I mean, that's considering the fact that we did 2 week 6s, because we had a week there we didn't do anything. So, you know, it's the way it goes sometimes. And that's kind of the nice part about schooling year round. And even though we're required by law to do 36 weeks, we do more. Because Mama has an expectation. By the state of Florida says, I have to teach you this many days. Mama says, you got to get through this material. It doesn't always work out that way, but it does for the most part. But the kind of cool part, I do want to give you about a 2-minute. I got to have a really cool moment or brief visit with a friend who's working on her homeschool curriculum. And we got talking. I'm telling them pros and cons, because I just kind of read too much. You know, don't we do that sometimes as stay-at-home moms with the internet? We just read and learn things. I know the pink is fading. And we're talking, and you know, I'm going to tell you, I have 2 top curriculums. Number 1 is not Christian Light Education. Number 2 is. And I'm always encouraged or desired to go to my number 1 favorite one, which is kind of an independent study via Robinson curriculum mentality, kind of Charlotte Mason style, and where you use old books the whole 9 yards. You've probably seen where I was pulling up stuff for my 5-year-old. I was like, here, do this, play. And one of the biggest things that kind of caught myself off guard as we were discussing is how, you know, this is not my number 1 pick for curriculum, but this is what hit me. But this curriculum gets it done. Because when Mom can't be in the ball game 100% because I'm juggling children, you know, infants and breastfeeding and crazy 2-year-old toddlers and the 5-year-old who wants this, and we got to get dinner done, and I'm still responsible for the rest of the world, not just homeschooling a 5th, 4th, and 2nd grader. Christian Light gets it done. So, might not always be the plan, or it might not be the way you want to do school. It's not like the way you imagine homeschooling would be. But you know what? These doohickeys right here get my kids educated when Mama can't be checked in the ball game. So, I was again reminded of that and kind of want to share it again. So, if you're ever having those struggles, like you feel like your kids aren't getting your school in because you're distracted personally because of the things you're still responsible for, well, fallback always works. And that would be another discussion. I'm not going to even get into that. Yeah, I will. Okay. I got totally bashed because I have this blog that I wrote about LifePack, and then I use LifePack for a small amount of time, and I have a whole video that I haven't even shared with you, just laying out page by page between LifePack versus Christian Light Education, because I don't think LifePack is as good, and that's my personal opinion. I think it's good enough, and if you use it and you like it and you're willing to put the time in, great. But it's not my cup of tea. And so I used it, and I talked about all the pros and cons. And then, like, I did one, like, hey, recap. Here's all the curriculum I've tried. Here's what I think about pros and cons of each one I did it. I had some Bible thumper. And now I'm a Christian. I'm not a Bible thumper, if you've noticed. Get on there to pin. I got bashed on Pinterest. She bashed my pin. She didn't bash my pen. She bashed me on my pen. And so, like, my #1 rule is don't engage. And I was super hormonal, and I totally engaged. And I was like, don't engage, totally engaged. And then I'm like, delete, delete. And I, like, checked her out, too. And thankfully, like, I didn't keep a link to find her again, because I'm glad I didn't, because it doesn't propose temptation for me to be something I shouldn't be. But she, like, totally bashed me because I didn't like that I didn't like Life Pack. These get it done. Life Pack, you need more parent involvement. This, I don't. So anyways, that's my 2 cents. And I probably will hopefully never bring it up again. But if you want to know what my personal opinion is, page by page, between Life Pack and Christian Light Education, leave me a comment and I might just share it with you. But I already made the video. I don't want to rough up waters, because I know that AOP has a tendency to be like, Christian Light uses all our old Life Packs. So, I mean, it's basically our curriculum, but they don't update it. Lie. It started as your curriculum, but they made it better in a whole different direction, and you went graphically oriented in the other direction. Just saying. So, there are times, like, we have a couple, like my son's using the 3rd grade science, and that is an old Life Pack with Mennonite cover. So, but it's still good. And in fact, I kind of, if they posted out and let the old Life Packs available, it wouldn't be a bad deal. Just saying. But that's my personal opinion, and I'm not getting into it. And this went too long, because I swore I was going to keep it at 6 minutes, and I never do. So, that's our homeschool week this week. It is week 7. And we will talk to you later. Don't you love the blue eyes and the pale skin and, like, the pink reflection? We'll talk to you later. Peace out.